Hi, my name is Bonnie Woodward, and I'd like to share a little bit of my artwork with you, a little bit of my passion and soul. Currently, I'm working on some jewelry pieces that I created out of stoneware. And now I hand carved this piece, and I am now going to paint the colors on it. And once it's fired, it'll have a nice glossy shine to it where you'll see the yellows and the bright white teeth, which is a lot of fun to do. This is a smaller version of it, which I haven't painted yet, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what I do start painting them. Again, something that's hand built. I've gone back and put some paint on it and kind of wiped it off. It too will get some details in it so that you can really, it can really be defined for you. These are something that I've been working on for quite a while. I have a whole, actually village of these, or a forest of these little houses. No two are ever alike. I find an inspiration on Pinterest, and then I take that inspiration and create my own little homes. These are my fairy houses. These are still in the greenware stage, which means, you know, a little bump or something and they're going to break. This is one of my favorites that I just created. This is the tree stump fairy house. And he's got little leaf ears and he's got his little top. What's also fun about these pieces is that the opening in the bottom, you can put cotton balls and put your favorite essence, your oil essence, so that there's just this light little subtle nice smell that surrounds them, works with it. One of the mushrooms, of course you can't have fairy houses without mushrooms. Another one of my fairy houses, all done by me. As you can see, they're not very tall. The detail in them, of course, in this kind of stage, it's kind of hard to envision what they're going to look like when they're finished. But they're very, very nice. And I have little fairy houses down at a little cafe gallery here in Tucson called Cafe 54. And she's very, very pleased to have them in there. We just put them in a couple of weeks ago. So that's kind of what I start with. Of course, I start, when I'm very, very starting, here's my clay. It's just a chunk of clay. And lots of fun to work with. And this is my work area. These are the paints that I have right now to work on these. I have enough of a selection to get the job done, which is really, really nice. This is another one of my finished pieces. This I sculpted. It's the lid. Goes on like this. And this is a little native Southwest nativity scene. There's little baby. Here's the father. Here's the mama. And there we go. It's a very, very nice piece. And that too is hand built. It's out of clay. I start with just a clump of clay and my imagination goes away with me. So I guess this is kind of part one of the video, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share this part with you. Later on we're going to show you some of my other art pieces that I work in glass, I work on canvas, I do watercolors, I paint, I just have a lot of fun, and I very, 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 very much need to be able to continue this artwork and also continue to share this with other artists who have come from similar situations as I have. Thank you. Hi again. This is one of my pieces of artwork that kind of has a prestigious place. We were given a call to art, and it was called The Heart of Recovery. This is my interpretation of it, and it's called The Flight of the Phoenix. Each one of these hearts are ceramic, put onto a canvas. And each one of these hearts also have a positive statement on it. Growth, this is the art of my recovery, healing, love, I'm soaring. This was placed in an art show in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm very, very honored that it was juried in to this show. This is a conglomeration of techniques. It's on watercolor paper. It started out being a watercolor, and then it just wasn't doing it for me. So I found again on Pinterest this wonderful technique, and this was what resulted as it. This piece was shown in the CPSA art show in 2012. It was selected to go to a function. Again, another, it was very, very flattering for me to have this piece accepted because I have not done artwork for a very long time. This is one of the very first pieces that I had done in a lot of years. So it was a good boost for me, which I very much needed. This is a piece, this is an art recovery piece, and it actually represents myself. I took a mask, and of course it's out of red clay, and I cut it in pieces because it represents people who are suffering from any kind of trauma. And that trauma might include recovering from alcoholism or recovering from drug use. So she represents once broken, now whole. But you're never quite whole because there's always this stuff in the background. And that's what she represents, is she's tied together with wire because we're holding it together. We're doing our best to stay in recovery. And this piece was also shown in the CPSA art show for behavioral health, and she took a 3rd place. And very, very proud. Here's another one of my masks made out of something that is a found object. Here in Arizona we have saguaro cactus. And when a saguaro cactus becomes damaged, it creates a scar tissue. And this particular piece is what results from that scar tissue. It's a wood-like piece, and I've never seen one quite like this, and it just reminded me of a face. And so this is what I did. It's leather trim, turquoise, and acrylic on it. Here is a mask that I call the PMS mask. It is off of my own face, and this was at a time I was going through an awful lot of trauma. Very, 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 a very bad time in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't do artwork for a long time, because I didn't want the darkness to prevail. These two masks, let me switch over here. These two masks this is another one. These two were actually made off the same original. This was a self-portrait. She's missing her headpiece, but she's still a beautiful piece. And this is my oldest daughter that I did a life mask from her. This is, it's funny how you don't even realize what you're doing, but this is a shaman. It's a watercolor, and I did this at least 15 years ago. But the shaman has the kachina as his shadow. It's like in all of us, there's a God. And I don't mean that in a negative way, and I don't mean to be blasphemous. It's just that we are a simple shell, but our inside, we are something else. And hopefully it's a positive, good thing. So those are a few more of my art pieces that I'd like to share with you. There's many, many more. And I hope somewhere down the line I'm able to share a lot more with you. Thanks.